I've learned it's important not to limit yourself. You can do whatever you really love to do, no matter what it is. To watch a master work at anything is a privilege. For now, I'm just going to keep doing the work and hope I don't get fired. If people want to put me up on their walls, I'll love it. I feel there is something nice about not talking. Like you can say more by actually saying less. Sometimes I think that the one thing I love most about being an adult is the right to buy candy whenever and wherever I want. I love being Canadian. I think growing up in Canada gives you a world perspective that I certainly enjoy. The theme for me is love and the lack of it. We all want that, and we don't know how to get it, and everything we do is some kind of attempt to capture it for ourselves. I don't think anyone can teach you how to be a man, but a woman. You only learn by learning what they need. I don't know. I just got a feeling about her. You know when a song comes on and you just gotta dance? All my characters are me. I'm not a good enough actor to become a character. I hear about actors who become the role, and I think I wonder what that feels like. Because for me, they're all me. I grew up in a family of strong women, and I owe any capacity I have to understand women to my mother and big sister. They taught me to respect women in a way where I've always felt a strong emotional connection to women, which has also helped me in the way I approach my work as an actor. I went through puberty in a theme park. I'm grateful. That place was a landscape to me. I had adventures every day. On his character, Dean in Blue Valentine, it's sad because he just doesn't have any ambition outside of loving his wife and his daughter, which should be enough, but doesn't seem to be enough in this case. If I eat a huge meal and I can get the girl to rub my belly, I think that's about as romantic as I can think of. I like all kinds of movies. I love movies, and I always wanted to try and make one. Acting isn't that hard, really. I mean, I think that people make a big deal about it, but you just kind of try to say your lines naturally. Women aren't interested in being sexy anymore, and men are. All the guys have objectified themselves and sexualized themselves into being just matinee idols. I grew up Mormon. I wasn't really Mormon. My parents were. Women are mad at me. A girl came up to me on the street and she almost smacked me. Like, how could you? How could you let a girl like that go? I feel like I want to give people hugs. They seem so sad. Rachel and I should be the ones getting hugs. Instead, we're consoling everybody else. The problem with Hollywood is that nobody works. They have meals. They go to Pilates, but it's not enough. So they do drugs. Everybody had a pile of rocks in their backyard and spent every day moving them from one side of the yard to the other. It would be a much happier place. I just have my own taste, and I just try and stick with that. I'm just trying to play as many characters as I can for as long as I have an opportunity to. Cars can have a hypnotic effect. You can get in a car and get out and not really remember the trip. I don't think you can discriminate against budgets, you know? I'm an actor, I guess. So I'm just trying to play as many characters as I can. If there's a character I think I can play, and they're going to let me do it, I'll do it whether it's $10 or $1 million or more. Hollywood usually doesn't have strong women in films like that. And it's stupid. So for the most part, they're usually being directed and written by men. I'm Canadian, so American politics are not really in my wheelhouse. As a kid, I decided that a Canadian accent doesn't sound tough. I thought guys should sound like Marlon Brando. So now I have a phony accent that I can't shake, so it's not phony anymore. It was more important to me to understand what it's like to be this Jewish kid who felt he was so different at such a young age. I feel the story is about a kid who came to hate through love. So I felt I had to learn why he loved this thing so much that he also apparently hated it. I always wanted to entertain. When I was 6, a scrawny kid, I'd get in my red Speedo and do muscle moves. I actually thought I was muscular. I didn't know everyone was laughing at me. I'm Canadian. I think that's it. When you're a Canadian, you're always watching America from the outside, from afar. If the character is true, the movie will fall into place. Or at least, that's what you hope. I am pretty sick with myself. It seemed a pretty good idea at the time. Around the time I turned 30, I started to feel very creative, more creative than I had been before, which is good, and I like that. I think about death a lot, like I think we all do. I don't think of suicide as an option, but as fun. It's an interesting idea that you can control how you go. It's this thing that's looming, and you can control it. Talking about muscles, they're like pets, basically. They're not worth it. You have to feed them all the time and take care of them, and if you don't, they just go away. They run away. I loved growing up in Canada. It's a great place to grow up, because, well, at least where I grew up, it's very multicultural. There's also good health care and a good education system. I think it's more interesting to see people who don't feel appropriately. I relate to that because sometimes I don't feel anything at all for things I'm supposed to, and other times I feel too much. It's not always like it is in the movies. You can't make a movie for everybody. You can't go into it trying to alienate people, but you have to assume that you're going to. I think we just knew that we had a movie when Rachel walked in the room. It's not good just to have life experience of filmmaking, and that's all. It's hard to play a real person when you've been in jets and town cars for 3 years. I sometimes forget to have breakfast in the morning, but when I actually buy a box of cereal, I will probably eat it not only for breakfast, but also as a snack later on. I'm attracted to films that have strong female characters because there are strong female characters in my life. I think that you can sort of have your own personal journey, and you can just kind of apply that to whatever characters you're playing. I tried to find something real, in essentially something that's science fiction or something for me. Anyways, not having an experience like this. I think we're very complicated, and we're capable of all kinds of things, and movies don't reflect that. In New York, you're forced to deal with life. It's there in front of you on a daily basis. I feel it's important to show that one thing that you do doesn't define you as a human being. It doesn't mean there aren't ramifications or you shouldn't pay for that, but it's not who you are. You know us crazy kids. We'll do anything crazy to our hair. The thing that's so exciting when you're making a film is that it can be anything, and there are no limitations on it. If I have any particular appeal to women, maybe it's because I listen more than other guys do and appreciate how they think and feel about things. I don't like to be entertaining. I don't like the feeling of being entertaining. If there was a musical or a comedy that was not just for entertainment, but was rooted in something I could relate to on a real level, then I think I would do it.